Okay. That's okay.
All right.
Okay, welcome to our second of our Congressional Roadshow. Let's call it a Congressional Roadshow. How about that, people? Woohoo! First of all, before anything, Roadshow for Peace. Nice. And so my name is Rachel Brunke. I'm with Code Pink San Pedro and also San Pedro Neighbors for Peace and Justice. I'm an associate member of Veterans for Peace also. And we are launching off sort of our second visit to a congressional office in the LA Orange County area, and we are at Representative Lou Correa's office, and we will have a constituent talking about her representative in just a moment. And, you know, we're not here disturbing the peace. We're here disturbing the war, because war needs to be disturbed. We cannot go from one 20-year war, Afghanistan, get out of it in August, and by February be in a brand new war, which we pushed, and have no debate in Congress and really no consciousness from our fellow constituents. And so we are here at different congressional offices to say we do not consent to more war. Democracy is the consent of the governed, and we do not consent to one more war and to endless wars. There has been no debate, as I said, in Congress, and yet over $100 billion is earmarked just for this year. Representative Correa speaks a lot on his website. All you constituents, please go to his website. He speaks a lot on his concern about health care. Well, you know, health care, not warfare. We cannot spend $100 billion just on this war, over $1 trillion a year on war in general, and say that we really care about health care. Also, he talks about veterans and his concern for veterans. And our position is, and you will hear from a veteran for peace in just a moment, stop making more veterans. Protect the veterans and help the veterans that are home now. Bring the troops home and stop making more veterans with more wars. And lastly, Representative Lou Correa he was the chair and now is the ranking member of the subcommittee on accountability, oversight, and management. Well, what they need to do is they need to audit the Pentagon, because 90% of all these weapons being sent to Ukraine can't even be found. Only 10% of the weapons that are being sent are even accounted for in Ukraine. Some of them already are ending up in Africa going to fuel the wars in Africa. And if you don't think that crazy wars and all this high-power weaponry has repercussions, well, then I would remind you of 9/11 and all of the issues that happened in Afghanistan 15, 20 years after our war there. So we have to stop making a mess that we have to clean up, that we never will. And so now we're going to hear from the representative from Lou Correa's office, Josie Garcia. She's a member of Code Pink.
Hi, good afternoon. I am a constituent within Lou Correa's district, and I just want to read Code Pink's holiday truce in Ukraine. In 1914, amid one of the most violent conflicts of human history, a remarkable moment of peace and humanity occurred during World War I, when French, German, and British soldiers crossed trenches on Christmas Eve. For several days, enemy soldiers put their guns down and mingled to become friends. There were joint burial ceremonies and prisoner swaps. They played football, ate meals together, and even sang Christmas carols, creating one of the most memorable images of peace in the midst of a horrific war. This Christmas truce of 1914 was a symbol of hope and courage when the people of warring countries organized an armistice on their own authority and joined in spontaneous reconciliation and fraternization. in the same spirit, we ask you to join us in urging President Biden, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and all the congressional representatives to support the International Peace Bureau's call for a Christmas truce in Ukraine. Or now you could say a holiday truce in Ukraine. No more war. No more war. No more war.
Peace now.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Chris Venn from San Pedro Neighbors for Peace and Justice.
Thank you, Rachel. The British newspaper, The Independent, published an opinion piece by its U.S. correspondent titled, "It's Time to Stop Pretending What's Happening in Ukraine is anything other than a U.S. proxy war." So this is, what we're facing is a war in Ukraine and actually a war on the American people. That the money, the $100 billion since February 2022 that has gone to weapons manufacturers all across the United States, and particularly from the Los Angeles area, should have been going into housing for people. I'm a member of San Pedro Neighbors for Peace and Justice, and there's a dire need for housing. That there are unemployed dock workers, retired shipyard workers, out-of-work fishermen that are living in the streets because they can't afford housing. That we need these resources in this country, and not money for bombs and destruction.
Thank you, Chris. Woohoo! All right. And now we're going to hear from a member of Veterans for Peace about constant war in America.
All right. Hi, my name is John Lackner. I'm a former Navy veteran and also spent about 10 years working in a bomb factory. And I guess I could tell you a couple of things about the personality behind it, but one thing that's curious is Tom Waits once said somebody is making a lot of money when a lot of people are being killed in the street. Who's making that money? How much money are they making it? And what are they doing with that money? That's what. Yeah, right. Why don't you know? You're supposed to know, but you don't. So anyway, I did 4 years in the Navy, and there's really a gung-ho attitude towards war. You know, it's like, forget about peace, give war a chance. I've seen that pasted up in a lot of billboards and things like that. And at the VA building. And a lot of people, when I was working with, when the Iraq war first started, the attitude was like, hey, yeah, that's good. This is good news. There's a lot of people being killed in Iraq. There's people being killed all over the war. That means we're making money. And I hope this war goes on forever, because I want to get promoted so I can buy new windows for my house, or I want to get a new car. So let's make sure this war keeps going on and never stops. And hope there's never any peace on earth, because if there's peace on earth, we're going to get laid off. Do you want layoffs? So that is the mentality of the industrial complex. Peace on earth means layoffs at the bomb factory, and we cannot have layoffs. So that's why these wars are always constantly going on. And it's a really crazy attitude. I'm sitting at lunch with all my coworkers at the bomb factory, and they're saying, yeah, you know, those missiles we built last week killed 300 people in Baghdad. Way to go, guys. Next round's on me. Keep up the good work. So I just got fed up with it. I had to quit. Anyway, I guess I could rant on, but I won't.
No more war! No more war! No more war! And thank you so much. And, you know, that's what we mentioned earlier, is this transition to peace. In Los Angeles, you know, we talk a lot about just transitioning out of the fossil fuel economy and into the green energy economy. Well, you know, oil makes a lot of the economy in Los Angeles, but so does war. So we need to start talking about transitioning out of the war economy in Los Angeles too. How about we demilitarize LA? How about we demilitarize Orange County? Woo! And just like John Lackner said, you know, we're not talking about throwing people into the streets. We're not talking about putting more unemployment unemployed people on the ranks. We're talking about transitioning people into the peace economy. There are so many things that are needed in this country and in this economy, and we need to get people working in that. And you know, frankly, when John was talking about the 1980s and then the 90s and 2000s and talking about people so excited to work in the bomb factories, we all remember Reagan and the military buildup at that time. You know, I don't remember them caring much when teachers went out of work. Do you? I don't remember them caring so much when healthcare workers are put out of work. Do you? I don't remember them worrying so much when children no longer had arts and music and freedom in their schools. Do you? No. And so, you know, now we're supposed to feel so sorry for people being asked to change their job and to think about what they do. And you know what, frankly, they all didn't care when the economy went to war. So, you know, as I sometimes like to say also, people say, oh, I'm just in this small part of the military economy. But you know what? Making lampshades out of Jewish skin was also a job, and it was wrong. So if you're in the industry, get out. Do what you can to get out and to transition the mission even while you're there. When we're in San Pedro, we go to military bases. Just San Pedro has 3 military housing facilities in it, just one little town. And we go there and we say, we don't want you, we're not trying to throw you out of your homes, but you need to start transitioning your mission right now. All of us need to pressure and end these endless wars and bring this money home. Again, we find a lot of people in the Republican Party are actually interested in this, so we'll work with anyone. And make sure, because this roadshow is going to continue, and we'll have on real quick where it's going next. But first of all, everyone should be calling their congressperson, and the Capitol switchboard is 202 224 3121. Remember that. Put it in your phone. 202 224 3121. Okay, where's this road show going next, Rodolfo?
All right, so we came here today to Orange County. We're visiting Lou Correa's office, but of course Lou Correa is only one of the Congress people of the 435 of them. We happen to have quite a number here in Southern California, and so we want to be visiting all of them to let them know that we're no longer going to stand for these wars. We're no longer going to. That's right. We're no longer going to allow it.
Study war, no more.
That's right. We have to make sure that all of them hear this message, because we cannot have it anymore in this country that we continue to be funding these wars and destroying our lives and many other people's lives, because it's destroying our own lives as well. We just don't notice it quite as readily. So that's why we're going to go to all of our Congress people here in the area. Yes, the next one, we're going to have a brand new congressperson in the area. It doesn't happen very often because these people tend to stay there for decades. But, there's a new one in Long Beach. The mayor of Long Beach, Robert Garcia, has now become sworn in to be a congressperson. So we don't think that he's going to be on the side of peace. We think he's going to be solidly with the military-industrial complex that is in Long Beach and South Bay, Southeast LA. So we're not going to stand for that. That's where we're going to go. So everyone is invited in January at the parade in MLK Day. please come out and let's just keep on going and get this message out so that all the Congress people hear it and we get more and more people from every congressional district. Let's do it. No more war.
No more war. No more
War. No more war. No more war.
No more war. And you know what? I think it's great, Rodolfo, that we've decided to do it on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. He'd be proud. So let's make the king proud. King of peace, true king of peace.
Peace train.
Woo, peace train. So we don't want any money for more war. We want health care, not war. What else do we need instead of war?
We need a Green New Deal with air to breathe and water to drink, not spending it on endless wars. What do we need that money for?
Housing.
Not war. What else, people?
Healthcare.
Not war.
Justice.
Not war.
Clean water.
Not war.
College education.
Not war.
Infrastructure.
Not war.
Our environment.
Not war. Children.
Not
War. The planet.
Not war.
The planet's animals.
Not war.
Mothers.
Not war.
Fathers.
Not war.
Veterans.
Not war.
The elderly.
Not war.
Woohoo! Off to the next roadshow, people.
Thank you.
Roadshow for peace.
There's